Hello everyone, I hope you're fine. Well, this is the third part of have got and has got, and today I am going to talk about American system of have and has, and then how to change them from positive to negative and then into question. So if you didn't watch part 1 and 2 of this have got and has got, you can find it down below, so there is a link for you. You can watch part 1, part 2, and then you will understand this one better. Okay, so دوستان ما امروز در مورد have و has گپ میزنیم که سیستمی امریکایی است. ما در مورد سیستمی بریتیش یا بریتانیا گپ زدیم. شما میتونید دو تا ویدیو دیگه که اول و دوم قسمتی امی ویدیو هستن در لینک پایین تماشا کنید و بعد از او این ویدیو را خوبتر میفهمید. Okay, now let's start. So let's look at this sentence first. For example, I say I have a camera. من یک دوربین عکاسی دارم. So this is a positive sentence, and then I'm going to change it to the negative and then to the question maybe later. So now let's see. When I say I have a camera, if I want to change this sentence to the negative, it's very simple. So I put this word out there. So for I, you, we, they, we use do not. So I take do not and then I put it here, and then the sentence becomes negative. I do not have a camera. من یک دوربین عکاسی ندارم. خب خیلی ساده است. اگر بخوایم که یک جمله مثبتی که have در خودش دارد به منفی تبدیل بکنیم، بعد از سابجکت ما do not میگذاریم. البته نظر به سابجکت ما. برای مثال برای سابجکت های I, you, we, they ما میگذاریم do not. And then after do not we put have. So I do not have a camera. من یک دوربین عکاسی ندارم. Now let's look at with the singular subjects. حالا ببینیم با ضمایر مفرد چگونه ما استفاده میکنیم. برای مثال he, she, it. So here is a sentence. For example, I say she has long hair. او زن موهای دراز دارد. اگر ما بخوام جمله را به منفی تبدیل بکنم، ما اینی کلمه را در اونجا میگذاریم. Does not. So I say she does not. Does not. So she does not have long hair. او زن موهای دراز ندارد. Okay. So for the subjects he, she, it, we put does not. For the subjects I, you, we, they, we put do not. So maybe some of you ask why we say she has, but in the negative we say she doesn't have. So it is a little note for you. Pay attention. Anytime the auxiliaries come, for example, these are the auxiliaries like doesn't, don't, didn't, or we say does, mainly in the question. So after them we need the base verb. So auxiliary plus base verb, or we call it root of the verb. خب هر وقتی که auxiliary بیاید ما بعد از auxiliary ریشه فعل استفاده میکنیم، یعنی فعل اصلی را استفاده میکنیم. در زبان انگلیسی ما چیزی به نامی to has verb نداریم. اصلی فعل to have است. از این خاطر بعد از auxiliary does not ما همیشه have استفاده میکنیم، چون در verb agreement یا قرارداد فعل ها همیشه با auxiliary ما ریشه فعل استفاده میکنیم. She doesn't have. I cannot say she doesn't has. So on the positive we say she has, and then in the negative we say she doesn't have. He doesn't have. It doesn't have. Now let's look at them in here very clear. For the subjects I, you, we, they, we say do not, and then we put have. So I do not have a camera. You do not have a camera. We do not have a camera. They do not have a camera. And then we can make it short. For example, instead of saying do not, I say don't. So I put don't. Very easy. And then look at this, like she, she, it. So with these, we put does not. And then the short form for that will be doesn't. So again, he doesn't have a big nose. She doesn't have a big nose. And then it doesn't have a big nose. So again, we cannot say he doesn't has. So because of that, after the auxiliary, we always use the main verb or we use the root of the verb. ما بعد از auxiliary ریشه فعل استفاده میکنیم. از این خاطر نمیتونیم بگیم که he doesn't has. Okay, now let's see how we're going to change it to the question. حالا ببینیم که چگونه ما را به سوالیه تبدیل میکنیم. All right. Now let's see how we're going to change them to the question and then how do we answer to them. So again we go to the positive sentence. I have a camera. What was the negative for that? I don't have a camera. And now this is the question for that. So what do we do is we're going to take this and then put it before the subject. So we said do I, do we, do you, do they. So it comes before the subject. So I add do before the subject. Now you have a question. I have a camera. Do I have a camera? اگر بخوایم که به سوالیه تبدیل کنیم ما فقط کلمه do یا does نظر به subject یا نظر به ضمیر فاعلی. اگر ضمیرمان I, we, you, they بود پیش از اون ما do اضافه میکنیم. جمله میشه سوالیه. اگر he, she, it بود دیجا کار میکنیم. So what is it? Do I have a camera? آیا من یک دوربین عکاسی دارم؟ And then if the answer is yes, then I say I do. If the answer is no, then I say I don't. So let's go to this sentence. So with the singular subjects, he, she, it. So here is the sentence with she. She has long hair. So what was the negative for that? She doesn't have long hair. And now let's look at the question. So for the question, before he, she, it, I put does. So we say does. Does she have or has? Have. So we say does she have? Again, does is the auxiliary verb. And then with the auxiliary verb, we use the main verb or we use the root of the verb. باز هم با does که auxiliary verb است ما ریشه فعل استفاده میکنیم have. نمیتونیم بگیم که does she has a camera. So does she have a camera or long hair? So we use a noun after that. And then this is the answer for that. If you say yes, she does. If we say no, she doesn't. Okay, so this is how we change it to the question, and then this is how we answer the question. So now let's look at this one here. Here is the form and it may help you to learn them better. If we want to change it to the question, so first we have auxiliary verb. According to the subject, if the subject is I, we, you, they, then the auxiliary verb is do. So, do I have a camera? Do we have a camera? Do you have a camera? Do they have a camera? If the subject is he, she, it, then the auxiliary verb is does. So we say, does he have a big nose? Does she have a big nose? And then does it have a big nose? So this is how have got, has got, and then have and has work. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you think the video was helpful, so please drop me a like and then share this video with your friends. So everything is free.